Right, welcome back to German Media Current Affairs News with me, Adam Anjai. And our today's headlines on the Standard newspaper will brought to you at headlines of the PPP leader tells Barrow to stop commission, and Ahmed Jite warns NPP against ignoring people's choice in West Coast. Audit report reveals 10 million suspected fraud not disclosed, and Air Senegal compensate passengers after court order. And now we read the headlines or the news in details by Amadou Jadama. A PPP leader tells Barrow to stop commission. The leader of the People's Progressive Party, Keba Jallow, has appealed to the President Adama Barrow to rescind his decision to probe the operation of the local councils until after the local government election. President Barrow over the weekend presided over the swearing of the commissioners for the investigation and defended his decision, arguing that there is need to investigate how the councils have been managing their finances. However, the decision is heavily criticized and widely perceived to be politically motivated, with elections imminent in the councils, most of which are led by opposition politicians. Adding his voice to the saga, the PPP leader himself, a former head of Kanifing Municipal Council, said even though President Adam Barrow has the constitutional mandate to set up a commission of inquiry, the timing of this one is wrong. The political temperature at this time is racing towards a negative trend. This is why I deem it necessary to come out and appeal to him to reconsider the decision until after the election. We are going into an election in 2 months' time. The going through a commission of inquiry at this moment certainly will jeopardize the election and affect the image of the country negatively, Mr. Jallow told the Standard newspaper. He further stated that the Gambia is too small for us to go after each other unnecessarily, adding that no one will be winner in that situation. The PPP leader advised that the only thing that would maintain and bring more respect to President Adama Barrow as a true Democrat is to create a level playing field for all political parties to campaign freely and fair without hindrance. According to Mr. Jallow, called on the advisors of the president to advise him to suspend this commission until after the election. If one listens to all comes, we will see there is some sort of economy between the president and the opposition, especially the two big parties, NPP and UDP. We won't need to go into elections in a confrontation because this is going to bring a bad image for our country, he said. Meanwhile, in a later development, Mr. Jallow also appealed to Mayor Talib Bensouda of KMC to allow CEO Senabu Martin to resume her seat until the matter is resolved amicably. I was the first elected mayor of KMC in PPP region, and this kind of row never happened. The council appointed one own CEO with an advice from the Ministry of Regional Government. I think the council should be autonomous enough now to be able to appoint their own CEO as it happened before, he advised. He added that the government can oversee, but CEOs should not be appointed by the central government. We can only solve this matter amicably using camp collections and common sense. So let us calm down, Mr. Jallow advised. Ahmed Jite also warns the National People's Party against the peoples of West Coast. Mr. Ahmed Jite is also an aspiring candidate of the PPP of the NPP lead government, as the government National People's Party pressed itself to an imminent selections of a candidate to contest Brikama Area Council seat, among others. One of the aspirants, Ahmed Jite, has warned the party not to go against the wishes of the people in selecting the right candidate for the region. The NPP Regional Executive Committee fixed February 19 as the date to select candidate, only to postpone the progress without advancing any reason. While speaking to the Punch on Kerfatu over the weekend, Jite said the party have learned a lot from last year's National Assembly election, and as a result, he believed the ruling party will understand the choice of the people and go by it, because that is what smart and wise politicians do. As a Democrat who believes in democratic process, I am not scared of us for us to go to the primaries, because I know that those that are going to select the candidate understand that apart from them, 100 times more than their numbers of NPP supporters would decide who takes the seat at the Brikama Area Council. And they must understand the choice of those people and go by that. Jide said. According to him, political parties should come to the realization that 16%, 60% of Gambians that participate in the election don't belong to a party, and as a result of which that they vote for individual and not along party lines. If you understand these dynamics in Gambian politics, you should be careful. Like we see in presidential election, a lot of Gambians did not support President Adama Barrow because they are NPP. A lot of Gambians rejected Hussein Dabo. That is why we had a dramatic turn in the parliamentary election, Jide stated. Asked why the NPP did not handpick a candidate in West Coast as it seemed to have done in KMC in Bakari Baji, Jide, he said he does not know what is responsible for that. May be the dynamic of the two regions are different. I am a Democrat and this is a people drive choice. I would think that Bakari said he was going to be going for NPP candidate because he probably has some assurance somewhere. What I understand is that in West Coast region, the people who decide who sits on that chairmanship seat are the me, and so that there is enough. Even if some people in the National People's Party might not support me, they need to be careful in the way they handled my situation, because at the end of the day, if you antagonize Jide or go against him, there are people who will never support you in elections. Politics is about numbers, and it comes to West Coast. Local opinions are very clear that I am their choice. This is across the board, including even non-NPP members. So I am 95% confident that I am the candidate for West Coast region. He said. Jide added that he cannot even imagine the NPP putting up someone else other than him, because when it comes to my loyalty to the party, and no one can question it. Nobody question my level of education too, my connection, my popularity, my ability, my courage, my steadfastness, uprightness, and everything that you need in a candidate. He also warned that some of the names on the NPP aspirant list for the West Coast chairmanship are not members of the party. That was the warns Ahmed Jide gave to NPP against ignoring people's choice in West Coast region. Audit report reveals 110 million suspected fraud not disclosed. According to the Standard newspaper by Umar Bah, the National Audit Office report on the financial dealing of the Gambia government for 2019 presented to the Parliamentary Committee on Finance last week highlighted the government's failure to disclose suspected fraud amounting to $10,401,000. According to the report, the alleged fraud involved one officer at the Intellectual Property Office who issued fake receipts for monies paid by trademark applicants and not delivered to the main cashier. The auditors said discussions with officials revealed that investigations have since begun on the suspected fraudulent transaction, but no evidence has been provided to confirm this assertion. We noted through a police report reference Gambia Police Force 11-4 OPS 246 and dated on the 26th March 2019, confirming fraudulent receipt amounting to $10,401,000 that could not be traced in the Integrated Financial Management Information System. It was not also disclosed in the statement of losses of public money in the financial statement they reported. According to the Auditor General, there is a risk that the amount disclosed on the losses of public money were misstated. This is indicative of fraudulent supervisions of work done by junior staff. The National Audit Office recommended for the Accountant General to disclose all losses of public money in the financial statement and provide an update on the status of investigation into this suspect fraudulent activity. Management responding to the auditor's queries. The Accountant General Department said they will review and disclose the matter in the revised financial statement. However, according to the National Audit Office, the suspected fraud amounting to 10 million was not disclosed in the revised financial statement. On that impress, according to the auditors, impressed totaling to $39,230,660 were not retired up to the time of finalizing the report, and further review of the IFMIS also revealed that impressed amounting to $48,147,986 were not retired in the system, which indicate risks of misappropriations and inadequate internal control over impressed retirement. Reacting to the finding of the 37th million, the Accountant General Department said all the relevant supporting documents detailing the charge are available for inspection, but the auditors added that out of the 40 unretired impressed amounting to 37 million, only 27 were retired, leaving 21 impressed totaling to 4 million unretired, whilst 48 millions remains outstanding up to the time of finalizing the report. According to the Accountant General, should ensure that immediate actions are taken to recover the unretired impressed from the responsible officers and details furnished to the audit time of inspection, the auditors added. Accountant General Department insisted that the retirement supporting document for the said impressed were submitted and retired in the IFMIS. However, the auditors maintain that there is no evidence of retirement provided in the systems, and therefore this matter remains unresolved up to the time of finalizing the management later. And also on the third newspaper, we have the Senegalese air company air compensate passengers after court order. The Air Senegal compensates passenger after court order by Umar Ba on the third newspaper. Air Senegal has paid $50,000 compensation to a Gambian residents in Salaji following a court order for the airline's Banjul representative Malik Job to be arrested and taken to Mile 2. Last year, Kalma K. Guru filed legal actions against Air Senegal claiming recovery of his luggage containing valuable for Mr. Kikura, who also claimed the recovery of the sum of 37 to 34,000 being the cost of item entrusted in the Air Senegal for transmission from the Gambia to Sierra Leone. According to the particulars of the offense, Mr. Kikura contracted the airline to transport 2 bags containing his personal belongings, which include a tablet, electronic, snackers, and some expensive clothes. In December last year, a Canifing court ordered the Senegalese national carrier to pay $45,000 to Mr. Kikura after the company failed to attend any of the court proceedings despite being notified on several occasions by the court. Last week, the court ordered that the airline's Banjul representative, who is also a second defendant in the case, to be arrested and taken to Mile 2 for 6 weeks or until the court decides otherwise. However, according to the credible source at the Canifing magistrate, upon receiving the notification of arrest warrant, Mr. Job rose to the court and paid $47,000 out of $50,000 due to the passenger. He completed the payment of the remaining $33,000 after police went for him at the airport. He relieved Kalma Cairo told the Standard yesterday that he hoped his case and perseverance will serve as an inspiration to other Gambians who experience the same challenge with Air Senegal or other flights. We must not allow the size of our country to determine our fate as a people. We should not allow people to take us for granted, Kalma noted. That was our current affairs news today at the Jamano Media TV. And thank you for joining us. I am Adam Enjoy, the English language news reader at Jamano Media. Thank you for joining us.